we need to maximize our service, which I feel this budget does, with the dollars we have. And I don't think we're to the point yet where we have to start closing down, as Supervisor Delbar said, areas of service. You know, whether it's animal control services or building and planning, because frankly, we're going to have to do general fund departments, otherwise that's not going to help our general fund. Or laying off districts, maybe taking deputies out of a District 3 for a month and then taking them out of District 5 for a month. I don't think we're to that point yet. What we have here right now is a proposal with a balanced budget that doesn't raise your teeter debt. That's what we have. Now, if we want to put this off for another month and have more discussions and bring all the unions in, because they don't certainly want to see layoffs, and I don't either, because, you know, it's not just like in last year in 10, I keep bringing it up in our Department of Transportation. We've downsized 17 positions. That's the equivalent of about 3 road yards out there. Our roads pay the price. Yeah, I guess we can do away with the whole contribution and general fund contribution to Department of Transportation. But we're supposed to be about service and basic services. So, you know, I think by reducing, downsizing 57 positions in 1 year is a lot. But by doing that, we're still able to come up with a balanced budget. So let's don't move faster on cutting services and staff quicker than we have to. The issues of travel and membership, all these things, certainly CAO and his office understands that we have to start working on that immediately, because as I said before, our budget problems next year are going to be 10 times what they are this year. But let's don't react too soon to the problem. We still have services to put out there.
Supervisor.
The idea that don't react too soon, I think the point is that we haven't reacted soon enough. This affects our credit rating. I mean, to have this $11 million debt to teeter with no comment from the executive office about how in future years the infusion of new funds isn't going to come. This is going to be a painful process. I mean, if we only pay $200,000 a year, and that seems painful right now, that's going to get us there in 60 years. I don't think it cuts it. The other thing that we're not addressing, we had the report on Gadsby 45 with respect to the county's liability for retiree health care. That is supposed to be something we take up next year. Whatever a number is identified, whatever we think we're doing with that, some sum of money, we have to come up with a plan that would prepay this. So, I mean, this is another thing that's not even on the table yet. We're not even looking at that incurred liability or whatever that's going to, whatever path we go down with that. That's another huge thing that enters onto the discussion table next year. We don't even have it on the table yet. So I think that a lot of naivete is at work here. And saying that it's a balanced budget is sure, it's a balanced budget, but it's balanced on not sound fiscal policy and principles. That's my point. I mean, we can cut in a number of ways. We're all not going to agree on the ways that we should cut, but I think that we need to come up with some compromises here to do some more difficult work. And there are a number of things that I've mentioned. They're not popular, they're not easy to approach, but it's just so much easier to say, job done, balanced budget, and be on our way, and we'll be looking at it next year. And it's only going to get more difficult. And it's just not a good strategy. So I'm willing to compromise on some of the ways of where we go and how we cut, but we have to have something more to work with. I can't work with this.
Okay. Thank you, Supervisor. Any additional comments to the motion? Okay, hearing none, I guess I'll call the vote. All those in favor of the motion before us signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, motion fails on a 3-2 vote. Supervisor Pinches and Wattenberger on the losing end, I guess, best way to put that. Okay, back to the board for action. Supervisor Pinches.
I'm just looking for, I don't really believe at this time it's up to the staff, whether it's the CEO's office or any of our department heads, to come up with proposals. If the majority of this board wants to see another couple $1 million in cuts, from $1.1 million to $2 million, whatever it is, I think it's on to the board members to come up with some direct proposals and vote them up or down. Because I don't think, staff has worked on this budget for probably off and on for the last 6-8 months. and tried to come up with something that's workable to keep the service delivery system out there and come up with a balanced budget. And we've done that. We had the opportunity today. Now I hear some real hardcore conservative talk when earlier, for instance, through the year, we couldn't even move forward with a privatization proposal in one department called solid waste. That hasn't moved forward because of all the questions. Now I'm hearing, well, we just go out and cut another $1 million or $2 million and come back with a proposal. I'm open for it. I want to listen to it, but I want to hear some direct proposals. You know, I mean, staff has given us a proposed budget. We've made the small votes up and down to adjust it, and we've done it. Staff has done their job. Now, if this board wants to come up with another $1 million to $2 million in cuts, I'm open for it, but I want to see where they are. I don't think, number one, I don't think they're necessary in this budget year, because this is a budget plan for the year coming up. We can make adjustments all through the process. But outside of that, show me some ideas that's going to save net county cost. Supervisor Delbar, you talk about closing the service center in Willits. That's probably 98%. Probably with the service agency, I'm not so sure we don't make money on that proposal as far as local general fund dollars. That analysis, I think if you shut down the whole operation up there, would be peanuts you would save as far as